कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परम परवैजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री ऐसी भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रपाद की जय। ओम विष्णुपाद परम परवैजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शतश्री भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी शिल प्रपाद की गौर किशोर दास बापू जी महाराज की श्री भक्तिविनोद ठाकुर की जगन्नाथ दास बाबू जी महाराज की षडगोस्वामी वृंद की श्री शिनताय गौरांग की राधाकुंद गौर नटराज की जगन्नाथ बल्लभ सुब्रमण्या की all glories to assemblies, all glories to assemblies, all glories to all glories to Guru and Gauranga. इसका एको कम कर दो ना। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। We're reading from Canto 10th, chapter number 83, verse number 40. Please repeat after me. Mahisya uchuhu Bomam Nihatya Saganam Yudhi Tena Ruddha Gnatva Atha Na Kshitijaye Jita Rajakanya Nirmuchya Samshriti Vimoksham Anusmaranti Padambujam Parininaya Ya Aptakama Bhamam Nihatya Saganan Yuditena Ruddha Gnatva Tanah Kshitijaye Jitaraja Kanya Nirmuchya Samshruti Vimoksham Anusmaranti Padambujam Parininaya Ya Aptakama Bhamam Nihatya Saganan Yuditena Ruddha Gnatva Tanah Kshitijaye Jitaraja Kanya Nirmuchya Samshruti Vimoksham Anusmaranti Padambujam Parininayaya Aptakama Bhamam Nihatya Saganam Yuditena Ruddha Gnatva Tanah Kshitijaye Jitaraja Kanya Nirmuchya Samshruti Vimoksham Anusmaranti Padambujam Parininayaya Aptakama Aishuchuhu. What word meaning? Maishuchuhu. The other queen said, Bhaumam, the demon Bhauma, Nihatya, killing, Sa, along with Ganam, his followers, Yudhi, in battle, Tena, by him, Bhauma, Ruddha, imprisoned, Gnatva, knowing, Ata, then, Na, us, Kshitijaye, during Bhauma's conquest on the earth of the earth. Jita, defeated Raja of kings, Kanya, the daughters, Nirmuchya, releasing Samshriti from material existence, Vimoksham, the source of liberation, Anusmaranti, constantly remembering, Padambujam, his lotus feet, Parininaya, married, Ya, who, Apta Kama, already fulfilled in all desires. Translation and purport with the disciples of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki disciples ki jai. Translation. Rohini Devi, speaking for the other queens, said, after killing Bhaumasura and his followers, the Lord found us in the demon's prison and could understand that we were the daughters of the kings whom Bhauma had defeated during his conquest of the earth. The Lord set us free, and because we had been constantly meditating upon his lotus feet, the source of revelation from entanglement, he agreed to marry us, though his every desire is already fulfilled. Purport. Rohini Devi was one of the 9 queens questioned by Draupadi in the text 6 and 7, and thus it is assumed that she speaks here, representing the 16,099 other queens. Srila Prabhupada confirms this in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I'll read translation once again. You can repeat after me. Rohini Devi, speaking for the other queens, said, after killing Bhaumasura and his followers, the Lord found us in the demon's prison and could understand that we were the daughters of the kings whom Bhauma had defeated during his conquest of the earth. The Lord set us free, and because we had been constantly meditating upon his lotus feet, the source of liberation from material entanglement, he agreed to marry us, though his every desire is already fulfilled. It's Apta Kama. Let us offer prayers and we'll start. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Nilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Utapadakkamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitanamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarne नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गौरतिशे नमः हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पस्य कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृंद Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Basic blessing of all devotees who are here, so that I will be able to speak from Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu desire is to spread Krishna consciousness through this the Srimad Bhagavatam. Is uh, distributing this Srimad Bhagavatam, and devotees going and giving their association to all the people and make them Krishna conscious. So we are fortunate that we have we're getting opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam together in the morning every day in the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So here Rohini Devi, she is the uh, she's the she is the one of the queen, representing the 16,099 queens, the other queens. Till now, the 8 queens they spoke how they got married to Krishna, and now she was speaking about representing all other queens. She was speaking about how they got married to the Lord. Here, because they were meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord constantly, so Lord accepted them, and agreed to marry them, even though he is Aptakama. Yesterday, Shinita Prabhu was saying about how Lord is Atmarama, and here Aptakama, fulfilled all desires. It's like both same meaning. And you know, previous sloka also it comes like where the king, the father of Lakshmana, I think, he gives a lot of wealth, horses, elephants, so many things he gives. So in that purport, Prabhupada writes there, Lord doesn't need anything. And knowing this, the pure devotee offer things, anything to the Lord with the out of love, and Lord also accepts, because the devotee is offering with love. He accepts whatever is offered. Patram pushpam phalam te yumai bhaktya. If one offers with love, and Lord accepts. So this is one thing we should understand in our life also. Lord doesn't need our service, but by His causeless mercy, He is giving us the opportunity to serve Him. In the deity form, in so many ways, in preaching. Uh, if He want, He can do Himself, but He's giving us the opportunity to do, to serve Him. So if we keep this in our consciousness that uh, that Lord doesn't need our service, but He is giving us opportunity to serve and develop love for Him, get purified, and so that we will develop love for Him and serve Him. So here, how this it is explained in the chapter 59, the deliverance of demon Bhaumasura, where how the queens were delivered. We will just read that part. How after killing Bhaumasura, Lord enters the palace of Bhaumasura, where these queens are imprisoned. In the palace of Bhaumasura, Lord Krishna saw 16,100 young princes who had been kidnapped and held captive. So these were the queens, Bhaumasura, kidnapped from different kings. It is given in the purport of this in this chapter that Their Bhaumasar kidnapped queens from the earthly planet, from the demigods, demigods' daughters, and Siddhas, like different planets. He kidnapped all these young princes and kept them in his palace. When the princess saw the Supreme Personality Godhead, Krishna, when the princess saw the Supreme Personal Godhead Krishna enter the palace, they immediately became captivated by the beauty of the Lord and prayed for his causeless mercy. Within the minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without hesitation. So, within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband without hesitation. And some acharyas say that actually they are like when Lord Krishna returned from Vrindavan, when he came from Vrindavan to Mathura, then Dwarka, the gopis, they are all transformed into the, taken in the expansion form or whatever explanation. They took birth as the princess in different places, like in these kings, because they want the association of Krishna. So they all took birth like that and they all got married to Krishna. So, so they are, that's why they are able to think about Lord constantly. Within their minds, they decided to, actually previously in this sloka also, they are, because we had been constantly meditating upon his lotus feet, the source of liberation from material entanglement, he agreed to marry us. So they were meditating upon him before all, not that they just saw there and they wanted to marry him. So they are constantly meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. So they saw, and within their minds, they decided to accept Lord Krishna as their husband. Each of them prayed to Providence that Krishna might become her husband. Sincerely and seriously, they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. As the super soul in everyone's heart, Krishna could understand their uncontaminated desire and agreed to accept them as his wives. So he arranged suitable garments, ornaments, and a palanquin and dispatched them to Dwarka. Here it is. So he now Krishna and Satyabhama, they go to Amravati, Indra's abode, to give the earring of uh, Mother Aditi. So he dispatched them all to Dwarka. He also collected unlimited wealth from the palace, treasures of chariots, horses, jewels, and so on. He took from the palace 50 white elephants, each with 4 tusks, and all of them were dispatched to Dwarka. So like that, he dispatched them, and then afterwards, he comes to the after the episode of Indra giving earring, and Indra very much worships Krishna and Satyama, everything. He worships with lotus feet. But when Krishna is going back, Satyabhama picks up the Parijata tree. So he again gets disturbed and starts uh, fighting with Krishna. In the battle, he gets defeated and again becomes humble like that. And there, but afterwards, when Krishna comes back, he arranges for marriage of all the Shinitaya Gauranga ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So he expands into 16,100 farms, and in each house, palace, he gets married to all these queens. So here we see how they are constantly meditating upon his lotus feet. That's why they got opportunity to Lord accepted them. So this is one of the important thing in our life. Uh, where our heart and mind is, you know, when we join and serving in the ashram, or uh, initially we may do services, and uh, but mind may not be there. So maintenance, I experience my own life where we do as a routine, and sometimes DT is like I do service in DT in Goranga and there in temple. How much we put our heart and mind absorption in the service. Yesterday, Shinita Prabhu was saying, you know, uh, put our full consciousness and uh, doing beyond best. He was saying how much we, you know, nicely we do that service. If we don't put our full heart, and absorption, then the quality of the service also will be like that. You know, both external and internal. You know, external is also there, and internal means our motivations, why we want to do the services, for whose pleasure we are doing the, that kind of, you know, and quality means how nicely matlab, that service is being rendered. Sometimes I feel like uh, when I do DT services, so some time you spend maybe 1 o'clock, when I after Aarti 1 o'clock DT resting, then we think now my time with you is over. Now this is my time. भगवान को सुला दिया, फिर है ना क्या खाना है क्या सोना है ना भगवान को भी सुला दिया. एंड वी आल्सो है ना टेकिंग रेस्ट. तो लगता है ना ये भगवान का टाइम है, ये मेरा टाइम है. सेपरेट. मतलब दिस सर्विस वेरी क्लियरली पता चल जाता है. मतलब मैं सर्विस लाइक ड्यूटी सेवा हो गया, उसके बाद मैं रूम में गया, मतलब ये मेरा टाइम है ना, अभी मेरे को डिस्टर्ब मत कर. बट एक्चुअली द well, now mind is always active. We should be always try to become Krishna conscious, na, and find out the means and ways. Because the other years pass, you may do the same things. Now you attend Mangalarti, you chant, then you do, cooking, or like my service. Some services on routine way. So activities are same, but uh, if we practice nicely, our heart get purified. Then our intentions, our thought process, things will change. For that also we have to, up, apply ourselves and do this, you know, sincerely and seriously. Here uh, Prabhupada right says, sincerely and seriously they offered their hearts to the lotus feet of Krishna with an unalloyed devotional attitude. So this is required. Sincerely and seriously uh, doing our offering our hearts to the Lord. So in this context, I wanted to speak something from Krishna book. How we should get absorbed in our services, and for the pleasure of lordships and guru, under the guidance of the spiritual master. Here, like the queens, they kidnapped by Bhaumasura. So like that, we spirit souls, conditioned souls, we are captured by Maya. We are imprisoned. So we have to come out of this material entanglement, and in this material world, the uh, We do like in jail. You see, people are they are handcuffed and they are put in jail. But here, everything is open. You know? But here, the living entity is shackled by sex life. Maithun Agar. In Bhagavad Gita, it comes in third chapter. You know, and outside in prison, you see, they are handcuffed, but here they are shackled by sex life. Attraction between man and woman and desires to enjoy this metal world. By that, one is shackled. So we have to come out of this, this to Krishna consciousness. Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbha. From passion and ignorance, one is under this. So one has to come to mode of goodness and um, accept the principles of devotional service in one's life under the guidance of the spiritual master. Like that, one should offer one's heart. Here in this chapter, Akruras are available in Vrindavan. This is one of the nice chapter. How when Akrura is uh, going to Vrindavan to bring Krishna and Balram to Mathura, so he Prabhupada writes here. Akrura's journey to Vrindavan is exemplary. One who intends to visit Vrindavan should follow in the ideal footsteps of Akrura and always think of the pastimes and activities of the Lord. The process of going to Vrindavan is shown by Akrura. So here in the chapter, how his thought process is there when he is going to Vrindavan, it is very exemplary, and we can apply some principles and follow in his footsteps. And when he is going to Vrindavan, he is always always observing the thoughts of Krishna and began to pray to the Lord. And he thought he did not know what sort of pious activities he must have performed to gain an opportunity to see Lord Krishna and Balram in Vrindavan on that day. So he's going on the chariot in the morning to Vrindavan. He was thinking like this. He's gain an opportunity, and thinking himself unfit to serve Krishna. So this is one of the principle, one of the thing we should have in our mind, that when we are doing service, we should think that we are unfit to do the service, unfit to uh, whatever services, small, big, any service. When we are doing, if we think in this way that I am unfit to serve the Lord, then we feel grateful for whatever service we get. Otherwise, you know, you want to do service which is in puja, lava, pratishtha, whatever, different material desires. To fulfill our desires, we may want to do different service. If we feel we are unfit to serve Lord, then we will be ready to do any service uh, given to us, and with a grateful heart we will do. Here he thinks like this. It is like uh, trying to offer service to Krishna is like uh, a Sudra is trying to study the Vedas, or the dwarf trying to touch the moon. You know? It is impossible to dwarf touch the moon, or Sudra trying to study the Vedas, or materialistic person trying to understand the science of God, or dog getting clarified butter. And if dog comes in the temple area, usko bhaga deta. So like that, we should feel that ourselves unfit for serving Krishna. So then we'll serve. We will have with a grateful heart, uh, with right consciousness, we can render the service. And he thinks that he, by the grace of Krishna, or by the grace of Guru and Krishna, Krishna may accept the service. And he He was thinking, all he is perfection of these eyes, will achieve when he gets the darshan of the Lord. You know, like that he was feeling great fortune, to get opportunity to uh, serve the Lord, and feeling confident that by getting the darshan of the Lord, seeing the lotus feet of the Lord, all his sinful reaction will get eradicated, and he will achieve the lotus feet of Krishna. So when we are rendering service, uh, we should think uh, what we are doing, that will help us grow in Krishna consciousness, to advance in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, when we are doing mechanically, then we may not put our full heart. I experience in the Mangalarti, when I stand in Mangalarti, samsara how it is going on, mind goes here and there, thinking here and you know, it's, it's 8 verses gone. It happens. So because of not having uh, that not to see it as in great fortune to recite those verses and glorifying the spiritual master, and getting purified and getting connected to spiritual master, and like that the otherwise it just goes like that other services also. If we don't feel it as great fortune, then we may do uh, just like outside people do services. uh, we do like that. So while going to Vrindavan, he glorifies the residents of Vrindavan, because they are engaged in the service of the Lord. Because Lord is transcendental, those who are engaged in the service of the Lord are also transcendental. Like that, he thinks about the residents of Vrindavan. Akur also considered the necessity of transcendental pastimes of the Lord. He thought that the transcendental activities, instruction, qualities, and pastimes of Krishna are all for the good fortune of the people in general. The people can remain constantly in Krishna consciousness by discussing the Lord's transcendental form, qualities, pastimes, and paraphernalia. By doing so, the whole universe can actually live auspiciously and advance peacefully. So this is, he considers. See, this is important, discussing about the Lord's transcendental pastimes, activities, instructions, qualities. Like this, we are sitting in Bhagavatam class, we are discussing. This is very important to discuss about the pastimes of the Lord, the Lord's instructions from Srimad Bhagavatam, even with friends also, like in the ashram, discussing with other devotees. By this, one can remain constantly in Krishna consciousness by discussing Lord's tangential form, qualities, pastimes, activities, everything. And by that way, we get purified actually. This is uh, very important in our life, to associate with other devotees and uh, discuss about Lord's pastimes or politics. Politics, कौन जीता, क्या कर रहे. Instead of politics, we should discuss Lord's transcendental form, qualities, pastimes, and pilgrimage. So he contemplates when he goes to Vrindavan, he will, offer obeisance to the Lord, and expects, favor from the Lord, shows mercy upon him. So when Akrura was going to Vrindavan, he thinks he was deputed by Kamsa, so he fears that Lord may not accept him. or because he is coming as messenger, as an enemy of the enemy. So, but then he thinks that Lord is there present in everybody's heart. So he'll understand my heart that I am his pure devotee. So, and he will show mercy upon him. So here Prabhupada writes in the purport here, unless one is recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his life cannot be successful. It is clearly stated that here that one should try to be recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead by one's service and devotion, without which the human form of life is condemned. So here the process is given how one should be recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Lord, the Personality of Godhead, is equal to everyone. He has no friends and no enemies, but he is inclined to a devotee who renders him service with devotional love. The Bhagavad Gita also declares that the Supreme Lord is responsive in proportion to the devotional service rendered by the devotee. Akrura thought that Krishna was like the desire tree in the heavenly planets, which gives fruits according to the desire of the worshipper. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the source of everything. A devotee must know how to render service unto him and thus recognized by him. In Chaitanya Charitamrita it is therefore explained that one should serve both the spiritual master and Krishna simultaneously, and in that way make progress in Krishna consciousness. Service rendered to Krishna under the direction of the spiritual master is the bona fide service, because the spiritual master is the manifested representative of Krishna. Yasya prasada bhagavad prasad. So one should render service under the direction of the spiritual master or the devotees who guides us. And what service given to us, then we should not we get some service, we do service, we should not expect the fruits or not claim proprietorship. You get donations or not, anything, you should not think this is mine. So so this is very settled. And, when you make receipt, it comes in the form of my department. My department, like that. So without claiming proprietorship, one should offer oneself to the Lord. So how, like we see the example shown by His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. And he is GPC from so many years, from beginning to till end, bureau chairman, so many disciples of so many thousands of disciples, so many temples his disciples are running. But when he left, nothing is in his name. He said, I have two laptops, one laptop and two mobiles, and passwords are with secretary. you know, you know. And so this is no claiming proprietorship. After rendering so many big service also, nothing for mera ya kuch aisa. And one should render service under the direction of the spiritual master. So actually our where our attachment and is there, our identification, uh, then if you are doing for pleasure of the Lord and pleasure of the spiritual master, then if you have attachment there, then we will not get attached to other things. Otherwise, we may want to do sometime some other things because that is more glorified or more uh, seen by others, or no, so many material desires to fulfill material desires. Here it is like this. When one satisfies the spiritual master, he satisfies the Supreme Lord. It is exactly like service in a government office. One has to work under the supervision of the departmental head. If the supervisor of the department is satisfied with the service of a particular person, a promotion and increase in pay will automatically come. The example, Prabhu writes. So we should try to please the spiritual master, and under his guidance, we should render service. Then one will be recognized by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is very important principle where we take guidance in our life and render service with devotional love. So when we here we see also when Akrura was going to Vrindavan, he leaves home in the morning and he reaches Vrindavan by end of the day, the night. So much he was contemplating how to, you know, first he thought he was unfit to serve Krishna, then how he's going to serve Krishna in Vrindavan, how he's going to take darshan. Like that he contemplates and all the way. Then he comes, then he gets the darshan of the Lord. You know, Krishna and Balram are heading cows and they return back to the home and they are tying the cows and milking cows. He see all that pastime. So for and he stays only that day night and next day morning I think they leave back to Mathura. So when we are uh, whatever service is given or that meditation should happen, not like as I said before, 1 o'clock seva is over, your time is over. Now this is my time, and it's not like that. No? Hello, whole all the time we should think of how to serve the Lord. No? Before doing service, and planning about the service, meditating on service, how nicely it can be done, and what consciousness we should put in that. Because actually, what consciousness you put, the result is different. You know, external activity may be the same, but how what consciousness you do, uh, whether it will purify our heart or not, it depends on with what consciousness we do the service. If we do mechanically, less very minimum purification. And, but if we do it uh, with proper consciousness, the purification will be more. And as we get more purified, we'll be able to render more pleasing service to the Lord. And that is the difference between the pure devotees and who are practicing. Because pure devotees with pure consciousness, they also got purified, and pure consciousness, Lord reciprocates with them. So in this sloka, because they are constantly meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord, all the queens, this princess, Lord accepted them because even though he is Atma Rama, Atma Kama, fully self-satisfied, but he respect with the devotees, and they got married to Krishna. After in marriage, in the household life also, how Krishna respects with all the queens as like a ordinary person is, dealing with them as normal husband, you know, respecting with them because they are having that love for him. So this is Anusmaranti Padam Bhujam parinanaya aptakam. So we should also, with full heart, sincerely and seriously, if we put our heart in our service, uh, Krishna will with the intention to get purified, and after by causes mercy of Krishna, if we get heart is get purified, we'll be able to render more better uh, pleasing service to the Lord. Hare Krishna. Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Time is over. When you have questions, we can have personally we can. Okay. Hare Krishna.